but somebody that it shares the same understanding. I grew up as a 17-year-old young white man too, and I grew up in fear of my life around black people because they were killing and robbing people around me all the time. And I don't understand, as I was a father, you could sit idly by and not condemn the culture that killed your son.
Austin Metcalf, Carmelo Anthony, as you all know, this is a tragedy that has captivated our nation. People are talking about this. It's unfortunate. It's a tragedy. And I speak from a father's point of view. And, you have Mr. Metcalf, who loves his son, who's, I don't know how he has the strength to do this, has given Carmelo Anthony, he's forgiven him. And I think that speaks a lot for the man. He believes strongly in his faith. I don't know very many people who would be this forgiving, but there's a gentleman by the name of Jake Lang who's actually talking about this, and he has this rally, and the rally is for Protect White Americans. Some of the things that he's saying here, I actually agree with, man. And there's some things that he's saying I don't agree with, but we'll let you judge for yourself. Take a look.
Do you know if they reached out to Jeff?
They did not.
They didn't even reach out?
Have not spoke to him
Incredible.
under no circumstances.
Wow. Okay.
So when I do this interview, that's what I'm going to ask him here in a minute. Like,
Great.
have you spoke with the father? And since I had, the father says he wants no part of this. Under no circumstances does he want his kid labeled with what's happening here. This is my organization. I see it. And I travel across the country to reduce violence in black communities.
Thank you. I stand with you, sir,
on a regular basis. But today, I'm here on behalf of the father, Jeff Metcalf.
Okay.
And what he's asking you is to not use his son's image or likeness in what you're doing. You can do what you do, but that's not what he wants his son tied to.
Okay.
Out of respect for that family.
Now I would ask Jeff Metcalf if he would be bold enough to act like a father of a deceased young man that was murdered, instead of being somebody suppressed, worried that he's going to spark the next race riots or some type of thing. He needs to stand for righteousness, not for the consequences of righteous actions always need to be taken seriously. He needs to be righteous before he is fearful. He is acting out of fear, not out of righteousness. He should have been on the top of the bus today. He should have been standing shoulder to shoulder with me.
Are you a father?
No, I am not.
I'm a father.
Amen.
I'm a father. As a father, there is this thing called grief. So let me tell you what's going on in his house. He's getting swatted. His only other son.
Who is swatting him?
Well,
Which
that's
community?
No, we don't know the community, but it's happening. That's on the police to find. Secondly, he has a son who's a twin, who his son died in his arms. So that means he needs to navigate that. Then his son, who's his only son, is getting death threats. So as a father, his hands is full. So the last thing he wants to be tied to is having this complex of race. So yes, violence is bad. Young black men are getting killed every day by young black men across this country.
Yes, but I'm not a member of that community. I'm a member of my community. My community is being victimized by the community of violent black,
but here's the problem.
But here's the
problem.
Degenerates.
When you stand up in the name of God, there's one body.
Amen.
And if you're not a part of that body,
I can read statistics. So I'm also a pragmatic human being.
So
I understand when there's a problem, it needs to be addressed head on. If you tiptoe around a problem, that's how you get to the end result.
So your biggest concern is the loss of white life by black people?
No, that's
not
your
concern.
I have concern.
The concern is a repeating pattern. It doesn't stop. It just keeps going on and on and on and on.
So the thing that I don't agree with the Jake Lang gentleman, when he says that Mr. Metcalf needs to be a dad, he is a dad. He's a dad that lost his son. So for you to sit up here and tell this man, well, you should act like this, or you should act like that, or you should get behind my movement, that's unfair of you to say that, man. Because for one, neither of these two gentlemen are fathers. So you don't know what it feels like to be a dad, and you definitely don't know what it feels like to have your son murdered, and then this captivates the attention of the nation. You shouldn't do that, man. And he says some other things that I don't agree with. Now, do I have a problem with him speaking up and speaking about this? No, I don't. If he wants to speak about, young white men being murdered at the hands of, black people. Black people do it all the time. Mexican people do it all the time. Other people do it all the time. They have rallies and they talk about, hey, the injustices or the violence or the murder of their own people by the hands of another group of people. It happens all the time. So these gentlemen have definitely have the right to do it. No problem there. I just don't like them saying the things that they have said about Mr. Metcalf and the things that this gentleman is going to say to Mr. Metcalf. Take a listen.
We just
First of
can't
all,
ignore it any longer. If it stops, we're good.
So I have a
Let me
question
answer
for
that
you.
question.
Do you
My
believe
biggest
more
concern-
white people are killed by white people or by black people?
Listen, by strangers, it's 2 to 1. Every single race in domestic issues, because we live amongst each other and uncles kill uncles or drunk at barbecues and stuff like that, it's always the same amount.
So your response is this.
Let me respond,
response
please.
is that,
Please let me
hold on,
respond.
is your response that
I'm
Mr.
saying that
Metcalf needs to get on your bus and tell people
If I
that
was
his
him, I
son
would
was
do
killed,
it.
but he's not you. So what I'm saying
But
is,
I'm telling you,
so what
I'm
saying
somebody
is,
that stands for what I believe in,
your
and I don't cower when it's time to stand.
If your desire
It's because
is
of
to
fear. Let's
My
be honest.
desire
It's
is that
because he's
another
afraid.
Austin Metcalf does not happen next week.
Like,
and if I was his father, I would stand
But you're not.
righteously to say,
But you're
yes,
not.
It's
but I'm
not,
a
but
man.
we all have
of-
common
so
sense.
you're
white
speaking
men-
for his father.
Hold on. We know.
No, I'm
not
speaking for white men in
I'm
this
not
country.
gonna
Are
I'm
you a
speaking for
father?
white
Well,
people
hold on,
in
hold
this
on.
country.
Are you a
Jake,
father?
Hold on one
Are
second.
you a father?
Hold on one second.
Are you a father?
I'm not, but listen.
Okay,
this
so when I
know
talk
I'm
to
not done talking yet.
non-fathers
Hold on.
who are not dealing with grief, you've talked for an hour. So if you want to address, I can give you after I give this message. The bottom line is this. You have a father that's out of respect asking you not to put his son's face in a place. How do you say you're going to represent people when you can't respect the will of the people?
No, no,
Listen, let me
that's not
respond,
true.
guys. There's too much peanut gallery.
sorry, you
That's
said
not
what
what
now?
his father said. His father
I've
did
never
not
heard
say that.
Can we please let me respond?
So you
Father's not-
believe-
no,
you
listen,
respond.
no,
Hey,
his
you
father
believe
is a fear.
I'm having a conversation between you and I. Listen to this.
Yeah.
Austin Metcalf is no longer Austin Metcalf. He is a symbol. He is a symbol of young white people being predatorized and victimized every single day, living in fear. He is living in fear. Our people in this country are living in fear. Austin Metcalf is no longer just his son.
Jeff, hold on. Jeff, do me one favor. Because there seems to be an issue that you're okay with Austin's name being plastered with this particular movement. Now, I've already addressed that. So now I want you to say one more
This is about
time
protest, not the
that
movement.
do you agree with your son's name and face being attached to this movement?
Hey Jeff Metcalf, this is Jake Lang here. I wanted to talk to you and not be
Jeff?
led into a question. This is
Hello?
in the legal argument. This is called leading.
Do you agree with your
Jeff, can
son?
I have a conversation with you?
No,
or do you
because you
want a
could have
leading
called him
argument?
before that. You could have called him out
I've
of
been
respect.
reaching out. I'm one of the biggest figures in
So
America.
Jeff,
Nobody's ever
I've given you a
texted me
message.
from-
I've given you
texted-
your message,
I
and here's
texted
the
all
response.
family members, everybody I could
I've
find.
given you your message, and here's the response.
You've not given my
This
message.
guy
You've
said
given your
no.
message.
What he said
What's
was
your
this.
issue with the event?
What he said was this.
Jeff,
He said that you, as a father, should be on the bus with him, delivering the message that he's delivering. Unfortunately, he's not a father, and the gentleman with us is not a father. Maybe they don't understand what loss is. But at the end of the day, I've given your message,
understand what loss
and
is.
they thought that it wasn't your message.
Let me have 1 minute of my message
Call
to Jeff
him.
Metcalf.
Call him.
Okay, what's
Okay,
his
this is
number?
bullshit,
He's
bro.
on the phone right now.
So Jeff,
This is
do you, huh?
Jeff, talk.
This is not a good faith discussion.
Okay, hold on. Here's Jeff. Hold on. Hold on. So Jeff, go ahead. Go ahead, Jake.
Hey Jeff, it's Jake Lang here. Jeff, first of all, my entire heart rests in your hands. I would be in my position, not even as somebody even knew your son, but somebody that shares the same understanding. I grew up as a 17-year-old young white man too, and I grew up in fear of my life around black people because they were killing and robbing people around me all the time. And I don't understand, as I was a father, you could sit idly by and not condemn the culture that killed your son. There is an epidemic problem in this country, and your voice could be one of the loudest voices in this country, but you have chosen to recoil out of fear and continue the suppression. Why will you not stand with me and with the rest of the people? We're not calling for racial divide. We're not calling for hatred. We're saying 350,000 attacks on white people by black people a year in this country is wrong. Why can't you stand that and say with that? Maybe you can. Would you be willing to stand by me in a press conference or in an individual interview and talk about this issue that is larger than Austin at this point? God rest the beautiful young man's soul that would have been one of our strongest voices if he was still alive today.
Are you done?
Yes, I am, sir.
Okay, my turn to speak. You are part of the fucking problem, my friend. You're trying to create more race divide than bridging the gap. I do not condone anything you do. You do not have any fucking...
That's called white guilt.
No, let it talk.
My son, let me finish. I gave you your time. You take my son's face off your website. I am not associated with you. I don't...
You're creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness, sir. You are creating more Austin Metcalfs
Black
with your
man
weakness.
here, you are being weak. I gotta be honest with you about that, sir.
You're being weak. Condemn your son's killer and the culture that caused it.
Hey, Jeff.
That's the problem. You've been submitted.
Hold on, hey, Jeff.
You've been submitted.
I'll handle it from here.
You've been submitted, sir.
You're not gonna make
If
us
we were
back
all,
down.
if we were
You're not
all
gonna
of
make
your
us back
nature,
down.
Guys, listen.
You're
Let me
not
say
gonna
this.
shame
what a
us.
weak
Not
man.
Do you know who you're talking to? You don't, do you?
I'm talking to a black man.
You don't. No, you're not.
Okay.
You sit here. You talk about Trump.
But I am. You're not
Google
gonna
my
make me
name
back
and
down.
Trump.
I don't think he should have said the things that he said to Mr. Metcalf. I think that was disrespectful, man. The man lost his son. He lost his teenage son to violence. You want him to be part of your rally, be part of your cause, whatever. The man just asked you, look, take my son's image down from your website. You know, I don't condone your message, right? So basically it was hard to hear, right? But basically he thinks that this is just going to push more of a divide between black and white people. Okay. It's unfortunate, man, that this situation is taking this turn, but we all know it was going to. We all know it was going to. And listen, and I'm going to say something, man, that's not going to be very popular, but it's the truth. There are some black people that are afraid to live in black areas as well. It's the truth. It's the truth, because for whatever reason, man, we have this propensity for violence. And there's a lot, not all black people, right? Not all minorities, but there are some that have embraced that stereotype and is angry, and they want to blame white people for everything that's wrong in their lives. I'm not saying that there's not racism in this country. I'm not saying that people are not prejudiced. I'm not saying that white people aren't guilty of horrific crimes against black people. They are. Black people have done horrible crimes against white people. White people have done horrible crimes against black people. It's unfortunate. But there is a lot of us that don't want the divide anymore. We don't want the divide. We want to get along with everyone. We want peace for our families. We want peace for our kids. Who would want this situation? Who would want this situation? If we were to flip it, and if it was Carmelo Anthony that got stabbed in the heart with a knife, right? If it was him, black people would be upset about that, and they would take the opposite position. They would say, hey, that was too much. It was overboard. Why are you bringing a knife to a track meet? He didn't deserve it. He was a good young man. You would be saying the same thing that people are saying for young Austin Metcalf. Okay. At some point, man, we got to do better as a people. I'm talking about all of us, man. I'm not talking about just black people or just white people. I'm talking about all of us. This is senseless. This is senseless here. I personally don't know any parents that would want their kids subjected to stuff like this. This is unfortunate, man. Unfortunate tragedy.
No. When you do that, my name is Bruce.
I agree with black males winning,
Google that.
but they're not winning
but
right
what
now.
You're doing,
they're becoming
but what
degenerates
you're doing
and murdering white
you're
people.
You're not helping America. You're no more patriotic than I am. No way.
Silent is
Where
not
were you
helping.
on January
You've been
6th?
silent. It's only gotten worse.
Where were you on January
I just
6th?
been
You've been silent. It's only gotten worse.
Where were you? Did you stand for your country
So you
when they
think that
stole our
made you
vote?
patriot because you showed up there? Does that make you a patriot?
Joe
What's your
Biden,
solution?
Joe
Showed
Biden
up?
is a
All you do is
pedophile.
condemning us. What's your
My
solution?
solution is to help people where they're weak. So we have an issue in young black males' lives across the country.
It's not
It doesn't
say that
matter.
to Jeff
Nothing's
Metcalf.
changed. Say that to
Words.
Jeff Metcalf.
We talk about it, man.
Say it.
At the end of the day, the
then
man
what
is
is
asking.
his-
So let me ask you this: you got a father who's grieving, and your response is he's weak.
My father is celebrating my strength right now.
You have no idea. You'll never win the Senate. And what I'll do, I'll come to Florida and run for Senate and run as a Republican, and I'll kick your butt.
No,
Guaranteed.
you
need 2
lose,
years.
bro.
You need
Guaranteed.
2 years of
Guaranteed.
residency
You
in
lose.
Florida.
Because this
first of all.
behavior is why
First
we're in
of
the
all.
situation where we are.
No.
We get these. Is that what it is? Okay. Well, at the end of the day, he's asked you what to do and what not to do.
Listen,
you have a right to
he's
do it
no
or not
longer
do
You
it.
can
Austin
say
Metcalf.
nothing about
I love
Austin
Austin.
Metcalf, but we're going to
You don't
continue
know
this
Austin.
movement.
I love somebody
You
enough
love
to
the
be
thought
strong
of
with-
using Austin
No.
for T-shirts, for propaganda, and to get out here and talk about
You
who
want to
you
shut
are.
down a
I'm
white
not
man
raising
right now.
money.
That's what
I'll
I'm trying
shut
to
you
do.
down, and
I'm
No,
not
you're not
raising
shutting me
I'm not
down.
raising money like
Because
Carmelo
I got
Anthony.
family.
I'm not
I'm not
raising
letting
money
them
like
put down
Carmelo
anymore.
Anthony.
No, bro, you
finances
stop.
that
You
I'm
came
not-
here to try to shut him down.
No, I
That's
came
what
in to
this
give him a
is.
message from a father.
And listen,
but I realize
Nah,
that's
bro.
not his deal.
Let's
The
be honest.
message-
You're a black man. You're trying to shut him down. 'Cause
I'm
what
an
he's
American
saying.
first.
No, man. You don't
I'm an
really think
American.
that.
No,
I am. You're
I'm an
not.
American.
I am.
That's
You're
what
not.
I am.
That's why I'm here. You
No,
want
is
to
that it?
silence him.
No,
You want to
I'm
shame
an
him.
American that
I've seen
says
it happen
this
over and
foolishness
over.
here
It's not
doesn't work.
foolishness.
That's what
You've
it
done
is.
nothing. You have not worked
I
on
haven't.
anything. Has not changed nothing. We're here to try something different to stop this.
So what's
bro.
the difference?
The difference is we're actually coming out here with courage.
Saying what?
And
Call
you
it
just want to
something, saying
silence
what?
people.
No.
Saying that white people can't be put down
Look,
anymore.
I
White people
listened to
cannot
you.
be silenced
I listened
anymore
to you
like
for
this.
2 hours.
Yeah.
It wasn't substantive.
And you were raging. It
you
was.
had more people paying
You were
attention
raging.
to the
What
foolishness.
substance is it then? What's
One dead, the 17,
Yeah.
another one who's in jail.
He's a murderer.
And you
He's
had
not
how
in
often
jail.
it
He's
happens
at home
all the
eating
time.
Cheetos.
Who's been
He's
charged?
home eating Cheetos.
We tried your way. It happens again and again and again and again and
At the end
again.
of the
It
day,
doesn't stop.
Hold on. At the other day is this. You probably bought that hat for me. Those flags, I probably sold you those flags.
You're not a
So
trumper,
you
brother.
have no-
You're not a trumper. I understand what being a Make America Great Again patriot
You're
means,
a writer.
and it means addressing.
What does it mean?
It means addressing
What does
issues
it mean?
without being a pussyfoot around it. Don't tap dance around the issues. Address it. Black people are killing white people in this country, and it needs to stop.
Yeah.
We are being predatorized in our own country. We are being predatorized in our own country, and it's a weakness from Jeff Metcalf and people like you that is continuing the culture. Condemn Carmelo Anthony, condemn. Why are you confronting me? What
I'm
if
not
call Jeff
confronting- I told
Metcalf
you
and
the
say
truth,
there's a
no.
young black man with a Carmelo Anthony jersey
just gonna
on,
show you something,
parading
son. I
his
just- no,
son's
listen.
death?
I
When
just-
This
I'm
is my thing, man. And, people have a tendency of doing this. They'll just lump us all together. Black people lump all white people together. White people lump all black people together. It all depends on your stance, right? I disagree with that gentleman with that because there's a lot of us that actually agree, man. We don't want violence. I don't want violence either way. I don't want violence from white people to black people to white people. I want to be done. I don't want young men to lose their lives over stuff like this. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. Two families have been ruined. You never come back from this. You never come back from this. Now, the Jake Lang, is he right for standing up for the cause and pointing out, hey, there are white people that are dying by the hands of black people? Sure. Absolutely. Because once again, I'll say it again, if the roles were reversed, and if it was Carmelo Anthony that was unalived, black people would be doing the same thing that this gentleman is doing right here. Let's take a look at, this is an earlier interview when this whole thing had popped off, but this is the father, Mr. Metcalf, expressing his sentiments on the situation. So let's take a look.
No, I was just, I want, if it's okay, to get to the thing that really struck me of your comments earlier today was your faith, the community rallying to your family, and your forgiveness at a time of deep personal pain, given your bond between you and both of your sons, but the son you lost. Your message to America tonight about faith and forgiveness in tragedy.
Okay, well, I'm deeply rooted in my faith. And without the Lord, I would not be blessed with my sons. I would not have the ability to be able to forgive. The thing about forgiveness is this: I don't forgive for the other person. I forgive for my own peace. I can't carry that around me. It would be like cancer. It would eat me up inside. So the Lord teaches us to forgive. Now, am I angry? Yes, I'm human. But I have to live with myself, so I have to forgive. And I'd like to tell what the world needs is more kind people. And if you can't find one, be one.
Facts.
Jeff, again, this story gripped me to my core, and I know millions of people across this country are
Absolutely.
praying for your family and for you.
Yes.
And that message of forgiveness across all families and all of us, it is really powerful, especially coming after what happened this week. I'm so sorry for your loss, and thank you so much for sharing this story and Austin's story tonight.
Wow. This is a sad situation, and my heart and prayers go out to both families, man. It goes out to Austin Metcalf's family and for Carmelo Anthony's family. Both families have been changed forever, and I just wish it was a different outcome. Stuff like this happens, man, and it's unfortunate. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. We're parents out here. We love our kids, and we want the best for our kids. We pray over our kids, man, and we just want them to be great people, live beautiful, long lives, respectable lives, loving lives, happy lives, man. Just make a great impact on the world. We have so many dreams and aspirations for our kids, and it's something like this, senseless violence that happens, man. So I hate, man, and I know we're all victims of it, man. You know, we're in different parts of our lives, and you know, we've all been angry before. We've all said and done things that we're ashamed of, and I just wish that individually, all of us, man, could just get better, man. And like he said, man, be more kind to each other, be more respectful of each other. At the very least, man, that should be our foundation: kindness and being respectful, man. Mr. Metcalf, man, the father, he's a very strong individual, man. Stronger than most, that's for sure.